is an introduction to the Landmark Forum in an abbreviated format. We're not going to get into everything that we normally would get into an introduction and that sort of thing, but it's one of the loves of my life. I think I probably led this introduction in front of maybe 10,000 people in my life. And I haven't led one in 18 years. And I have no, you'll see I have no format in front of me. I have no notes. I don't need any notes. I'm just basically want to be sharing what the forum might be. And it's not about what I have to say more, it's what it would be for you. So my invitation is to take what I say and not so much to digest all the details that I'm going to give you, but kind of like look at it from your own life and where and how it might make an impact and useful in your life. Now, the first thing I want to say about it is because we are standing in the middle of the EC program, so I don't want us to confuse the Landmark Forum with EC, and I certainly don't want to be heard to be saying this is a better version of doing what you want to do in the EC program or a new direction or something like that. I don't. I don't even necessarily even want to leave you with this is going to provide you a piece to get at what's missing in the EC program, although I kind of said it that way a little bit, but it's really not the right way to say it because the Landmark Forum, it stands on its own and it will impact you in ways that you haven't even thought of in EC. But at the same time, I'm fully confident that it will have a residual and powerful impact on what you're already working on in EC. So if the way you want to listen to me is, oh, this could help me with what I'm doing in EC, fine. And if you do it for that reason, fine. But I promise you that you come out of it with something that's even beyond that or that you didn't even expect that you were going there for. So you'll have your reason for doing it, but you'll get out of it what you get. And it may be way beyond, maybe, and I'll share you in my own life. When I first did this work, and by the way, just so you know, I don't get a commission for this. The little sheet that I gave you on the very, very bottom over here has a website, and we have offices for the Landmark Forum. There's one here in Atlanta, there's one in New York City, there's one in Vancouver, Toronto, wherever, Canadian cities, and several around the United States, in Texas cities, but not San Antonio, unfortunately, as Rick well knows, but they're around. That's how we do the forum. I first did the forum in 1980, and at that time I was a couple of years into a marriage, very happily married, no issues with marriage, very happily married. I was assistant general counsel for a large reinsurance company. They gave me a gold credit card and a corner office over the harbor, and they said if you go anywhere, you don't have to tell us where you're going or why you're going there. You don't have to counsel us or anything. That's kind of the way we want you. We don't want you to, you're not a lying guy. You're just to kind of go where you think you need to go. And you always travel first class and stay in the best hotels and get pretty good, right? And that had come after a life where I was number one in my class, I was dean for the student, I played a lot of ice hockey at a high level, a little minor league professional ice hockey. I did a lot of good things. So why did I do the forum? Well, what it came down to for me was some three lawyers, four lawyers and a judge. They recommended, they said, we know who you are, we think this would be great for you. Well, why? What could it be? And back then, the way they described the forum is a program which would transform your ability to experience living such that the situation, and this is the exact wording, to transform your, not to change, so there's a distinction between change and transformation, transform your ability to experience living, experience whatever's going on, such that the situations that you've been putting up with or trying to change would clear up just in the process of life itself. I said, what do you mean clear up? Like acne? They said, well, clear up, like become clear, become fluid, become moving, give you access, know what to do about it, move naturally. I said, I don't believe any of that, but if it's true, it's worth the, back then, $350. That was 37 years ago, so it's now $695, but relatively speaking. And back then it was 2 weekends consecutive. Now it's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a Tuesday evening session. And in addition to the tuition for the forum, comes a 10-session seminar series, 10 sessions over like 8 weeks, 3 months. So I said, I don't believe it, but I would do it. And why did I do it? I did it because with all that I had in my life and I was enjoying and success, I kind of noticed that the one thing that was happening was that I was more and more successful, and yet I was looking down my life at the future, and it was like I was looking down a long corridor toward my coffin. I didn't have the joy that I used to have in my life. I didn't seem to be as spontaneous, to be loving my life and just be me. You know, everything was measured and figured and weighed, and I just and I kept looking. I did a little therapy, I read books, I did everything, and I got to this place where I said, if only I could be like I was back then. I just want to be myself. I didn't say those words, but that's what I was saying. And it's prophetic because being myself is what it's all about, you know? But how do we do that? Just want to be more spontaneous, I said. And I remember listening to this introduction, the woman who led it. In fact, I hadn't seen her in years and years. She moved from the East Coast. She was married to a big, successful lawyer who I've seen once in a while. She was on the West Coast, came back to the East Coast. She's back in Connecticut. I had a call with her just last week. Amazing. They get together and say hello. And so Sylvia said, I said, I just want to have that. She said, well, then do the forum. I said, do the forum. She said, what do you want to get out of it? Be more spontaneous. Jump out and go get it, you know? I said, well, then step into the forum. I said, well, she said, you think it's wrong because it's not that? It's right. And as soon as she said that, I said, well, wait a minute. I can't do that. Right? I got to think about this, you know? I got to hold on here, you know? And what's my point? My point is that, it's very funny, is that when people see value in the forum, what will keep them from doing it is exactly what would stop them from having what they see they might get out of it. That's the hologrammatic, I just made up that word, the holograph of it all, right? But anyway, so I jumped in, and the forum begins when you register. So the minute I jumped in, the forum started for me. Not the Friday when I went into it, but the day I registered for it, because I was now a different person. But today, we're not going to register. I don't have any material. Normally, in one of these sessions, we have materials to register on the forum. That's really the right way to do it. It's not nice for me to tell you how great the ice cream cone is, and then you say I'll have stuff, but I can't give you a list. But we don't have those materials because we ain't doing that, because this is not that formal of an introduction. How you register is go up online, pick a date that works, put the money down and register. That's how you do it. But tonight, what I want to do is give you a sense of it, what it covers in a broad sense, and mostly share with you some things that happened for me, both with respect to the forum I did 37 years ago, and to the forum I did 4 weeks ago with Jesse in New York. Amazing. So the forum, so let me just give you the logistics sense, okay? So the forum takes place over 3 consecutive days, one evening. It starts at 9 in the morning. It goes to about 10 or 10:30 at night. It's a long day, but it's an exciting day because the forum leaders are very highly trained men and women who, 54 of them in the world. I worked with many of them. Many of them are retired or gone now, but the ones that are left who remember me, we know, and the ones I don't know, I introduce myself to I think is my forum leader, or my daughter's forum leader, and, you know, we're buddies, we know each other. And they're very highly trained, they come from all walks of life, they're great people, and the day goes on fast. So there's a break every 2.5, 3 hours, so you have a break around noontime, and a break in the afternoon, dinner break around 6:30, finish dinner, come back, finish, and that's it. You do that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. And like that. Now, so to kind of get, now I'm not going to do all the processes of the formula like that or what all is included in it, but just to give you a sense of the area in which we're working in this area here. If you would consider this circle, my circle, to represent all knowledge in life, is represented by the circle, right? There would be probably a tiny speck of knowledge, but I'll be generous and make it bigger and say this would represent, this piece of pie would represent what you know. What you know, can you see the K here? And specifically, it's what you know that you know. I know that I know how to ice skate. And I know that I know how to drive a car, right? And then next to that, what you do is what you know is you use it. But next to that is another area over here, an area of what you don't know. You don't know. But you, again, know that you don't know it, okay? So I know that I don't know how to be a brain surgeon. I know there's such a thing as brain surgery, but I know that I don't know how to do it. So mostly what people in life are busy doing, and this is the behavioral realm, is taking stuff that they know they don't know and putting it into what they know that they know. They're kind of learning. And this is called traditional education, or what? Informational education. You know, you do algebra 1, then you do algebra 2 and 3, you add to your, like that. And in this kind of education, by going through it, you get to know more, or you get to know stuff better. I'm going to go with this one. Hopefully it works better. Better doesn't work at all. So now, you have a couple more. You want to hook up the other thing here? Yeah, do it. It's going to work. We're going to green magic here. Yeah. There's a couple of them stuff. Yeah, they're trying to. No, those are not. Those are right. Those are when you get a recon. Yeah. So if I'm going to do stuff up on the board here. I'm green magic here. Hold on. I'm happy with the thing. Yeah. Because you know how to write. Okay. So good. I'm going to move away from that. Hold on. 2 seconds, you gotta get screwed here. So what we're doing then? So the education that we log in. So here's, so you know what you know, right? And in a minute, I'm going to move along here. Okay, good. And, you know, we try to move this up into information from what we know that we don't know, this is what we know that we don't know. And this is traditional education. And you put up the next slide. And it produces more, better, and different, and improvement. You can get a little better with this stuff. Process. Those businesses, they do process, they train, so they teach people from what they don't know to how they know. And what we see in businesses is 5% improvement. People get a little itty better. But no fundamental transformation in this enterprise or person. You know, a cleaned up version of an asshole to be fun, all right? That's great. But we don't do this anymore. We don't do that. That's not what we do. You do that on your own. Forum takes place in this other realm, which if I was writing on the board, that introduced you with what you don't know that you don't know, DK. Think about it. Think about what you don't know that you don't know. How do you do that? It's like, I don't know. Right? It's like looking behind your own eyeball, see how you see. But that's what happens in the forum. And this kind of work is a different kind of education. It's non-linear. It's not logical next step. It's what we call transformational education. And in this is the realm of breakthrough. Alteration, breakthrough, into a new realm of possibility. Not a new possibility, a new realm of possibility. It's like you're going here, and all of a sudden you're going here. So that's the kind of work that we do in the forum. Let me give you a sense of how it works. This happened to me 37 years ago. So again, I told you I went into the forum because I wanted to have a little more spontaneity in my life, and blah, blah, blah. You know, when I'm sitting in the forum in the back row with my arms folded and being a corporate lawyer, stroking my chin, listening to everybody, checking them all out, you know. And the leader was pretty interesting, pretty good. I liked him. I related to the guy. He was a Boston Irishman that lived in San Francisco. He wore gray slacks like mine and this blue striped squirt shirt, and he had a nice sweater, nice polished shoes, just like I wear, long black socks, just natty. And he was ruddy complexion. He was an international rugby player. I related to his athleticism. I was a jock. He was very much like me. But I sat there for the first almost 2 days of the first weekend, just kind of looking at him like, he's just like me at the level of body and personality in person, but he ain't like me in being. But I didn't have those words to say it. I said it more like, there's something about him. There's something about him. In fact, he got into a because back then we used to fight with a forum leader, and people would, like challenge him, and somebody would challenge him on something, and he just sat back and said, the guy was like, you're here trying to take our money, because people get all laughed up about, how much money you got, and they count the number of heads in the room, and they go, geez, 150 times $600, that's a lot of money. Yeah, they have no idea what goes on, but that's the way people are. That's what we are. It's like, we think we see everything, we don't see anything, And they're going on and going on, and then he finally said, he said, and somebody was really nice. I said, you're this and you're that, and he said, I'm not even here. Not even here. I'm sitting on a deck in Hawaii right now. Meaning, I come to find later, like in my sense, like the ability to create being where you are. You're in the middle of the maelstrom, but not necessarily. And it's like, that was challenging. But specifically what happened. So I'm sitting there, and at one point there was a guy, raised his hand to stand up to speak, and they gave him a mic, and he was sharing something. And he didn't look like me. He wasn't my age. He didn't dress like me. He was kind of a biker-looking guy, and this and letters and that. And he was sharing about something. I think he was a gay guy, whatever it was. And I'm like, what's it like to me, And all of a sudden he said, yeah, I have people get just interested enough in me that they want me, and then I take myself away. And I'm like sleeping. Bingo, something hits here, It's like, and like that. So the weekend goes on, and it goes on like that. So one of the keys of the forum is that the technology is the technology. And a person like me could coach you on a subject or have that conversation. And it might make a difference. But there's a dynamic to it when you have 100 people, 200 people in a room sharing, and people are sharing their own experiences. And the forum leader might be working with you this way, but everybody else in the room is in that conversation, and they're getting stuff out of it, just watching that better than you are the first time oftentimes around. You're the last one to get it, So that's going on. And that hit me. So I finished the first week in the forum. I go back. I had taken the week off between the first week and the second week. I go back to my house in Fairfield, Connecticut, the house my first wife and I lived. And I had decided that I was going to build a little terrace out back. And so I got the stones ready and this and that. Now, one other thing that was going on in my life, not a big deal. I have a stepfather. He's long deceased, named Joe Colombo. Great man. He took me over when I was a little kid with my mother, took care of us, and gave us a great life. We had home, we had a restaurant, we did things, we had boats, we did things. He was a great man. And I had some issues along the way, that he wasn't my professional dad like my natural father, and I had a bunch of little fights along the way. But fundamentally for me with him, as I love the guy, he was a good guy, I didn't ever doubt that, but he was just the kind of guy that no matter what, he would never be enough for him. In other words, as far as I was concerned, no matter what I did, it was never enough. And I had the evidence to prove it. I would tell you that when I was a little kid and I finished playing a baseball game at Little League, and I was a really good catcher, but I didn't have a good bat. I didn't hit. We would come home and he would pitch baseballs to me until dark. Like he's never satisfied. I remember one night when I was in college, we had played ice hockey against St. Lawrence University at Madison Square Garden, a full house. We won. My team won 5-1. I was the goalie. So we got 5 goals. They got 1 goal by me. We're walking out of the garden, going to dinner or somewhere afterwards with the team. And my dad and mom were there. And he starts telling me about the 1 goal that they got by me and how if I was over here a little more and played like that, I could have stopped it. He's a guy never even skated in his life. Now, these are just little stories of my whole life with my dad. Like, it was always there as a kind of a thing. Maybe remember when he used to go to Florida, we'd go to a restaurant, he'd have a big straw hat on. I thought he was doing it deliberately to embarrass me. Now, you could sit where you're saying, it's easy for you to sit maybe and say, what a jerk you were, Mark. I mean, can't you see? But I could only see what I could see. And if I were to tell you prior to June 1980, when I did the forum, what about my dad, I would have told you, he's just the kind of guy, it's never enough for him. No matter what you do, he's always going to tell you, you got all A's, but one's an A minus. He's always going to tell you what you didn't do. That's what he does, you know? And he's like that. Yeah. So now, I decide I'm going to build a terrace. So Monday morning after the forum, I'm out there, it's hot, and I'm starting to shovel, and along comes my dad. He never stopped by my house, but he stopped by this time. And he comes in the back, and he's an Italian guy. He takes one look at what I'm doing, and starts going, what the hell are you doing? Don't you know anything? Don't you know that you can't build a terrace in the north where it's going to freeze, that's going to last if you don't dig it deep enough with footings, put down stone, do this and that, lay it in, lay it up, and that. Don't you know anything? Now, I just come out of this phone, and nobody told me what to do, how about my dad. But I heard people share about their relationships, and I was definitely moved by that process of being in the forum. But nobody gave me an instruction manual what to do. I actually felt this swelling up of anger that I'd never let myself feel. And I thought to myself, oh, the forum must be about really expressing your anger. That's what this is. Oh boy, I'm going to have a breakthrough now. In fact, I said, let me go prepare for this. I've never done anything like this. So I left the backyard for 1 minute. I went into the bathroom inside. I went in front of the mirror, like this, and I practiced what I was going to say to him. And I knew, because I really had it at this point, I knew what I was going to say. I was practicing to say to him, listen, dude, I don't need you to come in my yard and tell me how to put down a terrace. If you want to build a terrace, go to your own goddamn yard and build it. That's what I was going to do. That would be a breakthrough. I've never done that before. So I remember going outside and I had a shovel in my hand. Ooh. I went back outside. I went right up to him, and I said, listen, you. And as I saw those words I just said about to come up through my throat, my whole life flashed in front of me. So I'm giving you I'm now going to give you a conversation that took place faster than that, but I have to take time to tell you because I can't tell you that fast, but it did take place this fast. So as those words that I planned were coming out, I say to myself, Mark, what do you really want? And then I answered my own question. I said, I want a nice terrace. Then I said, Mark, cut the bullshit. What do you really want? And I said, I want a relationship with my dad. And then I said, well, what is he telling you? What is he here for? And I said, oh, he's here to tell me how to build a terrace. And then I said, Mark, cut the bullshit again. What is he really here for? And then I said, well, he's here to express his love. And that's how he expresses it. A conversation from last night. Now, all of that came out of me watching now people have that kind of opening in the form, But it didn't come like, this is what you're going to do when you face the situation. I had no idea the situation. Now, remember, I'm now telling you what I went through faster than that, as I was about to go down there and say, listen, I don't need you. And so I said, listen, you're right. It struck me, I said it. I said, you're right. Well, I said, he looked at me and goes, I said, no, you're right. What did you just say? You said, if I want to have a terrace that lasts in the north, where it freezes and I got to dig it deeper, I got to put graveling down and footing and build it, and right? That's what you said, right? You're lucky. I had to shovel it. I said, Dad, back here, take the shovel. Show me what you need. He starts going around. I said, well, wait a minute, Dad, put the shovel down. It was like 9:30 in the morning. It's hot. I said, Dad, you know, you're right what you say. And really what I can tell you is I haven't heard what you had to say in as long as I can remember. I haven't heard what you really were saying to me. Maybe in the sense I said, I haven't heard your love to me. But I hear it. I hear what you're saying. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of things I haven't listened to you about or heard you about before, and I'd like to know that. So if you would be so kind, if you wouldn't mind, I'll grab a beer and we could just sit down on the wall there and talk for a while. I said, sure. And we did. We talked for 8 hours. Mostly I listened, which is phenomenal, as you can know. And that was the transformation of my relationship with my dad. That was never again in question or different or like that. It's not that way anymore. That's not that way anymore. A new realm of possibility. Not me improved, not him improved. A new world that I'm living. That was. And that's just, I could go on with those stories between now and the next DC meeting next year. That's how it's been in my life. And you might say, well, then how'd you get here? Well, sometimes you close your eyes, it's stuff you don't know what you don't know. You know, so it's all good. Now, in fact, I'll share it with you in a moment. After we do another piece here, a breakthrough that I had 3 weeks ago in the forum with Jesse. But I want to go to this piece. So this is just a little itty-bitty piece of form, and you go on for this for hours. It's amazing because people stand up and they tell their stories. But what we want to distinguish here is this is just a little technology, and we've done a lot of it. You hear about it, but so what? I was just at a ball game Thursday night, baseball game. Right? You're at a baseball game. There's a lot of talk going on, but there's all different talks. In the stands, what are people saying? You know, go get him. Oh, that was a bad play. I don't believe he didn't walk him. Why did he do that? We call that being in the stands. It's talking that makes no difference. It's talking about. You know, it's like talking after the fact. There's another kind of talk that's going on down on the field. You know, in the play, the players talking to each other, moving up. Throw the ball here, the managers talk, I want you to, pitch and low and outside. That's a different kind of talk. That's actually happening. That talk is making it happen. There's another kind of talk that the umpires do. That moves the whole game. The umpires call, it's 3-2 with 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, the run comes, the ball 4 walks in a run and ties the game. A strike 3 ends the game. The pitch comes in. The umpire makes the call, strike 3, and everything changes. The whole stadium empties out. The traffic jam happens. No more beer on the stands. Everything. Just by one statement, you're out. That's generative talk. But what I'm talking about is being the umpire in your life. Being able to generate that kind of talking, about your own life, saying how it's going to go, what we call observing, fully observing. But one of the distinctions we work on in the forum is that we look at, there seems to be what's happening, we say what happened, the facts, or something. And then the story about it. And if you listen to people, they'll talk about things, even last night, and listen to our stories, pretty soon, we think we're talking about the facts, but we pretty soon start using a language that's all representation. Actually can't even understand. I forget who was talking last night. I said, somebody said about something. I said, what's that mean? I forget. Somebody said something. So I asked, what does that mean? And here's it. This conversation is all after this. This is what happened now. Temporality, this is now. Temporality, this is past. So we have this phenomenon. So what we're doing is we're saying there's two different kinds of things. But they don't stay separate for a reason that stays in the case. That is that it seems that we have what's happening, and then we report on it. And that's the story. And then in the next moment, the story influences the next moment of what's happening and reinforces the substance of it, the facticity of it, which then reinforces the story, which then reinforces the, very much like Matthew, your story with your dad, that's what you said his emotional, where's that? That's in the story. But it's not in the story, because then the next moment you go to him, you see what's happening when he goes, interesting. So I got to tell the story to validate the time. And then the story makes the fact more real the next time. So the next drive in the car with him, like you had the other day, and he sees something on the road and goes, interesting. Given your story, that validates that he's emotionally distant, which is not a fact to say that, and that validates the story. Now the problem is when these two things keep rolling, there's not two separate circles. There's just one circle now, collapse. We call it the vicious circle. And in this circle, that's where you say, this is the way it is. No, the truth about my wife, the truth about my whatever, the way it is with so-and-so, the way it is with my wife, the truth about her. No, there's no truth about her, but it is truth, it's a story. So a lot of power comes just from being able to separate it out, the facts. So what is, now if you take it to the nth degree where we have Braun and Matrix in, what do you call that? Quantum physics? Or no, not Matrix, I don't know about that, but quantum physics. Like, the quantum physics just say there's nothing there. In other words, if you do this long enough and separate it out, you find out that everything is falling. It's actually hardly any what is. But when you say what is, you say, well, that is the table. Well, the quantum physicists don't. They say, really? Let's look a little closer. Nothing there, So the isness of things starts to break away. And the isness of life. So we look a lot at that. And if you find yourself stuck with, I can't help but saying she is this way. I can't help her. I think Kelly, and all I think is she is this way. A little device, and again, I'm not here to do the forum, but just, what the hell, I'm here with my friends. So let's go through this whole thing here. So, if I ask you to point to me, or say where I am, where am I? Point to where I am. What's the way? Okay, very good. We'll get there. You're close. Okay? He just got ahead of me. Okay. So everybody pointed to, the actual answer is right. You point to me over here. Okay. Now, I'm changing the question. Point to where I occur. Aha, yes, now, very good. Right here, right? Now this is that's elementary occurring. Now we're going to get into the high level occurring. Where over here do I occur? Arlen, where? Where? You're the doctor, you don't know. Where? No, I said where. You pointed over. You pointed over here, right? Arlen pointed over here, and you pointed up here, but you pointed in this general direction. Okay, right? We would point. Okay, right? You acknowledge that I occur for you over there where you are. I got that. All right. Where over there specifically? Where's Mark over there specifically? Okay, say some more about that. Like where?
Goes into my retina.
Well, watch it now. Is there a little mark on the back of your retina?
No.
No. What is back of the retina? Now, this is a doctor, so you ought to know. What's in the back of your retina with regard to Mark?
What image of?
What?
What image of?
No, I don't think it's an image. I don't think there's a little picture of Mark back there.
Why is it box?
There's some kind of sensors that receive little signals, maybe
Why is it, box?
waves or something like that, yeah?
Right.
But it's not in a Mark wave, in other words, you couldn't actually look with a microscope and see the little sensors and a little outline of a mark, right? You couldn't. There would be some sensation.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
You got a lens that puts it back there. I mean, it may not, it probably wouldn't be a screen back there that you could see it on, I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying. I get that there's a lens and a this and a that, and something going back there. I get that. But I assert that it's not, and we don't have to beg, we don't have to beat this thing down, but I assert that it's not a little mark back there, but some kind of a sensation or sensory and nerves and things start moving around.
Light waves hit the rods and cones. Things like that.
Yeah, but anything, it moves all the way through the system, and then, but where does Mark first show up? Well, how come you didn't say dog or quark or, or thing or whatever? You see where I'm going? Is that at some point, the real phenomena is given by the language, no? At some point, you take all of that stuff and somebody comes out with Mark. Now, you come out with Mark because I told you my name is Mark, and you've learned so you listen to that. But look at a little kid, little baby's born, they don't know nothing, they're just bouncing around there, they're just like hanging around, and good daddy Sergi wants them to do something, so he gets a candy bar. What's his oldest name? What? Your boy. Sebastian. Okay. So he got the candy bar, hold the candy bar, and little Sebastian is bouncing around over here, and Sergi wants him to go do something, so he holds up the candy bar, and he goes, he smiles, and then he says what?
Sebastian.
Huh?
You want that? You gotta do something for it.
What I gotta do? And so Sebastian, so he said, give it to me, Sebastian. Ooh, that's good. That's good candy bar all gone, okay? Then we'll now later on, you want me to come over there? I'm over here. What do you do?
Sebastian.
Oh! All right. Pretty soon, I'm Sebastian. For me. That's how I learned. That's how I got to be Mark, and that's how you got to be Arlen. Well, what's the significance of that? What if we weren't a Mark or an Arlen or this?
One end, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. What if we weren't that? What if, so really I'm kind of opening us up to this. So we live in an occurring world. We live in an occurring world, not an is world. So it's a powerful distinction. So when you stand in that I live as a possibility, not a truth, as a possibility, I live in an occurring world. And in my occurring world, Roshni occurs as whatever you say. Just say what she occurs as for you. Just honest. No filter, no good answer. Just what? Okay. Anything else? Look any glitch in that? Yeah, but sometimes a little pushy. Any version of that? Just spit.
Transformation, change causes persistence. I'm going to change me. I'm going to change her. It's all the same. So yes, we can. But first we put the past in the past. That whatever happened to me in that whole conversation was, in the forum, such that I'm standing in front of my father, and all of a sudden was able to, the past is in the past, and I'm speaking from nothing and going from there. And so, these are little pieces of it. But, and yes, the phenomena that we live in an occurring world, that your actions are always a correlate to the occurring. As I said the other day, last night when we had the chairs, put the chair in a tribe of Aborigines in Australia or somewhere out there where they don't have, it's not that they don't have chairs there, because you could bring this to that tribe
And the tribesman will go over to it and look at it and go like this and sit down and talk to his friend. Okay. He won't sit there because there's no chair for him. There is for you, but there's no chair for him. There's a movie that was made in Australia where a guy's flying over the outback, toss a Coke bottle, and it flies through the air and it comes to the ground in the middle of the Aborigines. And the question is, what fell out of the airplane? What came out of the airplane? Well, for the pilot, it was a Coke bottle. But when he got to the ground, it wasn't a Coke bottle. And the people down there, they filmed what they did. They used it as an instrument, blew through it. And they used it as a hammer to hit it. They fought over it. They had tribal wars over it. But it wasn't a Coke bottle. No. So is it a Coke bottle or isn't it a Coke bottle? So we live in an occurring world, and our actions are always a perfect correlate to the world occurring. So I get when you say, let's say, or if you have difficulty saying I choose you, it's not that you can't say it. You could say that. You choose your daughter perfectly, but you don't choose her. It's not because there's something inherently faulty in your ability to choose, but given the world that's occurring for you, it occurs for you as no possibility to choose that way. So that needs to be